Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another used car build. So today we are doing the Ferrari 308 GTB. Situation: you buy a Ferrari 308. Problem: it drives like it's got butter for wheels and the track is made of glass. How to fix it? Well, I'll show you that in a minute. Let's go ahead and talk about the car. First of all, you might recognize the car draped in red as the Magnum PI car if you're as old as I am. Or you might not recognize it all or give a shit about it because it's so damn old. Personally, I love it. It's yet another example of a fine Italian wedge of overpriced excess and pop-up headlights with the engine in the back. And yeah, it looks great, sounds great. Now, after I fixed it, drives great. And it has a cassette player in it. Can't go wrong with that. Very old school. But other than that, though, it is everything that myself personally I would want a Ferrari to be. Very minimalist interior, wedge-shaped, pop-up headlights. Just cool. All around freaking cool. And yeah, I painted it yellow because fuck you about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop out of here. And as you can see, this thing just dialed in. It handles on rails. The one thing I can do, however, is I could add a little more power to it because I think I overfixed the problem. So before a turn like this one coming up after we pass this Mopar here. So this turn coming up right here, untuned, completely stock right here, your ass over teacup. You're facing the other direction. The Challenger's passing you, flipping you off, throwing his vape at you. Now, this thing just handles magnetically attached to the course. Like, tires are metal, course is a magnet. Let's roll. So, as you can see, it is a little sluggish, though. It is a little bit slow. It's got much room for power. But even as slow as it is, it still does a fantastic job just with handling alone, glued to the track. That's how you win the race. It ain't top end speed, it's how well you can control those corners and how quickly you can stop and take off again. So let's go ahead and pop out and I'll show you all what I did with this thing. So in case you bought one of these cars for, I think it was like 120 grand in the used car market, and you're like, what the hell, this is a Ferrari, why does it handle like a Ford? Well, I'll show you what you should do. Along the lines, you don't got to follow my build idea, right? You know, letter for letter, but this is just what I found that works, at least for my drive style. So we're sitting at a measly 575 performance points, and I'll get to that in a second. Reason why: max power 304 horsepower, weighing in at 2,600 pounds. Did not need to reduce weight on this thing at all. She's light enough, and I mean this thing was built in 1975, so take that as you will. So we got, of course, the sports tires. We got a high adjustable sports suspension. I dropped it to 83 millimeters because it definitely needs to sit a little lower to compensate for that body roll that we all know that the 70s cars are just horribly plagued with. So, of course, compression expansion is increased. Natural frequency is matched. This is a major part. This differential, the one-way limited slip differential, this thing will save your balls. For real. That if you got a mid-rear car or a rear car and you can't understand why it keeps wiping out, slap that baby on there. That will help dial you in and also teach you to definitely not hit the gas until you exit that apex. So downforce, here's a major deal. So obviously I put the front lip on it and that ridiculous rear wing. I wish they had a different style, but they don't. So we increased the front to 40 and increased the rear to 120. This helps squeeze that thing to the track when you're driving. Very important. This, another big factor right here, weight. Your weight is a huge thing because keep in mind this thing is built in 75. All the weight's in the back, toward the middle and the back of the car. So your steering is up front and there's no weight there. So yeah, you got this little wedge shape, but look how high up it sits without that front lip. So that air is going to go underneath and lift your front end up. It's going to steer really easy and, in fact, oversteer. So put some weight in the front. I positioned it to negative 35, and we put 100 kilograms in there, and that balanced it out quite well. In fact, you got right here your front rear weight balance 47-53. It's so close to being perfect 50-50. Damn, you know, I could probably adjust it to make it that way, but I'm happy where it is. Put the manual transmission in and increased the gear drive up to 290, and you're like, why would you do that? Your takeoff must be slow as shit. Well, keep in mind, it's got 304 horsepower. It's got plenty of takeoff. All right, not everything has to be a Dodge Charger or a Challenger with 1,000+ horsepower. Okay, I did this so that way when you are taking off from a curve or a dead stop, you don't have as much tendency to get squirrely in the ass end there. So we got our usual sports air filter, our semi-racing muffler, this time to the sport muffler, just to give it a little more punch, sport brakes, and of course our semi-racing clutch flywheel. We bored up the engine, we balanced the engine, and we put a high lift camshaft and high compression pistons in, and that's it. And that gives us what we got here now today. So, that being said, yes, we can increase the power. It does have room to increase power, so that's good. If I felt like it, I can put more power in it, but I kind of like it the way it is. It makes me drive a little smarter, makes me drive a little harder to compensate for the lack of horsepower. But man, check out this interior though. This thing is really rad. This is what Ferrari's lacking nowadays, is this simple yet elegant style it used to have. Like, this is so friggin' cool of a style of a car. I mean, a little fence on the fucking hood, the vents in the back with the engine, that simple, sleek, wedge-shaped design, the minimalist interior. I love the iconic dual rear circular taillights. That is just fantastic. What a fantastic looking car. I mean, I really dig this thing. Like, now that I've tuned it up and driven it a few times and got it dialed in, this car is an excellent car. Anyway, this video has went a little too far above and beyond it. I detest stereo system. But tell me what you guys think. Do you like the older Ferraris? Do you prefer the newer ones? Do you overtune them? Do you leave them as they are? What do you do with them? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Let me know. And thanks, guys, for watching. Again, I know it's a longer video this time, but there was a lot to unpack here and a lot to explain with how we got it set up. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. The next one is going to be pretty rad. Wait till you check this one out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.